Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit that subscribe button if you're new so you don't miss any of our great football content this season. Let's end it last 10 minutes here. When the NIL, college football talk, when the NIL and transfer portal emerged, the big fear, and I think the media does a bad job at this, the political media and the sports media, it's always the end of time. So the NIL and the transfer portal, the fear is the rich are only going to get richer. Well, actually, the opposite has happened.
Yeah.
Is that take out Ohio State mostly because of their defense. But after this weekend, Bama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, Texas A&M. John, it was a couple years ago when Bama and Georgia looked different than everybody else. I'm looking at all these teams outside of Ohio State mostly because of this unbelievable defense. I mean, I watched Michigan Northwestern, came down to a final kick. I watched Iowa-USC, came down to a couple of calls. There is so much parity now in college football. I like Georgia a lot, and they certainly have Texas's number, but Bama has Georgia's number. Ole Miss, I mean, if it was such a great job, Lane Kiffin would have already signed an extension. Him not signing it is probably a sign that he knows there's limitations at Ole Miss. Everybody was afraid the portal and the NIL were going to bury the Iowas and bury your now we've got Indiana and A&M and Ole Miss have emerged. I don't know. I think Ohio State's the best team, but I watched Bama lose. I was shocked. I'm like, Christ, there's 12 teams here. I'm not sure who's the second best team in the country. Maybe Georgia?
Well, I think for most of the last 20 years pre-NIL, there were two or three teams that were so much better. You go back to Pete, and then Urban, and then Nick, and then for a little bit Kirby, and Dabo in there for a minute. And they really only had to outcoach an opponent maybe once or twice during the regular season. And sometimes during that regular season game was a team that didn't have your talent, but your team was just kind of sleepwalking. Maybe in your conference championship game and then in the playoffs, right? Now you kind of got to outcoach them. Like Lane's power as an offensive play caller is on full display. Feels like 8 of the 12 games.
Yeah.
Look at yesterday. Why do you think Venables and Kirby are probably the two best defensive coaches that are head coaches? Patricia is probably an overqualified college coach. I mean, how well he's doing. But they match up well against who? Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb and Steve Sarkisian. Oklahoma's beat him twice, 2 times in a row, and obviously he's beaten Sark the last 3 times they've played in the last 2 years. Well, it's because we're basically even, right? We're relatively equals, and it's just a coaching schematic matchup. And Venables and Kirby are elite defensive coaches, just like Lane's an elite, offensive coach. Sark is too. Arch is a little hit or miss. His quarterback. If he had a better quarterback play, maybe. And I think coaching is just more on full display in more games now than ever. I mean, you and I have been talking. I've come around because yesterday's a great example of Oklahoma playing Alabama. Well, 5 years ago, Oklahoma's playing Kansas and Alabama's playing Kentucky on November 15th. So, USC's playing Colorado and Iowa's playing Minnesota. Those games suck. Now we get they're playing each other. The best thing that the SEC ever did was get Oklahoma and Texas to come.
Yes.
Because it has amplified their games that they have double the amount of sweet games. They already had a lot.
Hey, listen, I was a Pac-12 fan, but I got Iowa-USC in the rain. It was a great game.
It was fantastic.
And then I'm getting Oregon-Iowa the week before. That may have been a better game. And so, I like all this stuff. To me,
Texas, Georgia, I mean, it's just been bright lights the last 2 years. It's must watch.
Yeah, I just think I'll be honest about Oklahoma. They really surprised me. They've got Mateer, so they have a big time quarterback that can make the plays. I think my big takeaway out of that, I had said last week, 2 of my big takes were I don't really buy Texas A&M. They fell behind 30-3 and came back and won. I'm still not blown away by them. It was a great comeback, but they got manhandled at home for an hour and a half. The second thing is Ty Simpson. I don't see the traits. I am a trait guy. I don't care what your record was in college. Josh Allen couldn't win in college. Mahomes had a losing record. I don't really care. The bottom line is I have to say wow at something. Like Kyler Murray may not be a great NFL quarterback, but I'm watching him run around and I'm like, wow, that's better than Russell Wilson. That's wow. Yeah. Ty Simpson's fine, but it's kind of a J.J. McCarthy thing, surrounded by good players. There's not a single trait where I'm like, shoosh, that's first round. Ty Simpson's draftable. To me, he feels like a mid-late second round guy. Did you have a different opinion about the Bama quarterback? Because 2 weeks ago, everybody said Heisman #1 pick.
Well, I'd say this 10 years ago before quarterback inflation, which started with the Mahomes, Allen, Lamar kind of run, and everyone's been overdrafting quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Guys like Ty Simpson and J.J. McCarthy went in the third or fourth round. Ask Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins. I mean, that wasn't that long ago. Those
yeah,
guys, they won a lot of games in college. Mississippi State was #1 team for a moment when Dak was there. Google Kirk Cousins' record in college. Those guys went in the third and fourth round. To me, Ty Simpson has never been a top 100 pick till the last 7, 8 years, right? JJ McCarthy, maybe because come from Michigan's like a third rounder. But these guys now, this quarterback inflation, they get overdrafted. Now, JJ to me is a more physically, brings more to the table than Ty Simpson. I mean, Ty Simpson's, Ryan Williams, the star wide receiver, is falling off a cliff. The other two guys are still pretty, like, he's playing with some pretty elite coaching and some pretty elite talent. I love Michael Penix, but Michael Penix is not good. And you go back, well, Michael Penix played with 3 NFL wide receivers in elite coaching, right? So it's just, I'm out on time. This quarterback class is terrible. I mean, I was texting around yesterday. It is not good. It's not good at all. Lenore Sellers, who you watch that first half against Texas A&M, you're like, God, this guy really. The second half is just atrocious. Well, who's he going up against? Mike Elko. That guy's an elite defensive coach. What did he do? He made a couple adjustments. Sellers is seeing ghosts, and it's just a train
yeah,
wreck. So to me, this
yeah.
is not. If I hear one more time about the Browns or Jets, their savior does not exist with a top 5 pick in this draft. It does not. So if that's what they're, obviously that's what they were hoping, but I don't see any of these quarterbacks.
I like Mendoza. I like his size, and I like the fact that he won. I like the fact that he went Cal to Indiana. He's never had 5-star teammates. He's never had a great O-line. I like the fact big, strong, big arm. He comes from his family, like Cuban immigrants. It's a great story. Like you wrap your arms like, oh, this kid's worked his ass off. Really a good leader. I do think he looks different. Also, he's 22. Dante Moore's 20. I think that matters a ton. To me, that Penn State drive and how he played against Illinois and Penn State late and Oregon. If you go to the 3 moments of this season where you were like, okay, Mendoza, you have to deliver. Autzen Stadium, last drive, Penn State, Illinois game. I thought he was unbelievable in all 3. Football season's here, and if you want to go to an NFL or college football game, Game Time is the place for you. The Game Time app just gives you the advantage back to you, the fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. I love it. Easy to use. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price, 100%. So they even let you preview your seat on the app. That's special. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay every time. Take the guesswork out of buying professional football tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account. If you use the code Colin, COLIN, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account, redeem code COLIN, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Yeah, and he's going to play in some even bigger games. I mean, he's going to get Ohio State in the championship game more than likely. He's going to play in playoff games. I mean, who knows? If they play Ohio State close in the championship game, Ohio State and them could host. Like they could be, because they can see the top 4 however they want. And to me, if you lose to Ohio State by under 10 points, I got no problem making Indiana a top 4 seed. So
Same.
They are going to play in massive games against the Georgias, the Oklahomas. He's got a chance to really solidify himself because obviously it's what he did against Oregon. I had some buddies at the game in the scouting world, and they said his mental toughness to bounce back after that pick 6 and make plays. Obviously the Penn State game, but now he gets to go up against Ohio State. He gets to go up against probably one of these SEC teams. I mean, Oklahoma, that could be, who knows, maybe a first-round matchup. Oklahoma against Indiana. I mean, you're going to get some great matchups for him specifically. Obviously, his coach and Cignetti, they've done an incredible job. I do think Oklahoma, here's what I will say about Venables, because I was Googling him last night. Basically, in 99, he came with Stoops to Oklahoma. He's worked at 2 places in 25 years, Oklahoma and Clemson. So he knows 2 things really well. Because did that run with Stoops and then with Dabo, he can recruit. He cares about recruiting. You and I talk. Some coaches are like, I don't want to recruit. He cares and he tries. And Oklahoma is a good recruiting operation. He cares about it. He's a great defensive coach. And you watch his team, you go, they got players, which he's recruiting, and his defense is elite. So like I think people a little meatheady and stuff, he brings some stuff to the table. He will
Yeah.
recruit, and his
Well,
defense is
they
elite. And listen, he just paid that 30-year-old in Mateer to come. So it's like, hey, you take the offense, and I'll do the program and the defense, and we'll have talent, and we will be. They're not good on defense. They are SEC dominant on defense.
yes, and that surprised me. Texas's winning a lot of games didn't surprise me. It's funny since Texas joined the SEC, they've only got like four losses. Three are to Georgia.
Yeah.
So everybody's selling all their Texas stock. It's like they can't beat Georgia. It's like the Seahawks can't beat the Rams. Darnold's beating everybody else. Sark and I thought Arch played okay. I think losing Golden to the NFL, I don't feel like Texas has a number one dominant receiver. I thought Arch played okay. First of all, I think Georgia is a much more physical program. I just think they are. You and I have said this. USC and Texas are pretty. They're finesse. They're pretty. They're cool. Georgia's not cool. Georgia's tough. Georgia's hard. And I think Georgia's a bad matchup for Texas football. I think
Well,
they
don't
just
you think
they just
the identity? Look at the identity of these coaches. USC actually has shown some toughness, but relative to what they are in their heyday, not even close. Sark, a little finesse. He's an offensive guy. Lane, who's just everyone says they got to hire Lane, and he's awesome offensive coach. His defense is terrible, right?
yeah,
I mean, his defense and the identity of DeBoer, Alabama's defense shell of itself what it used to be,
yeah,
offensive team, right? Oklahoma, Kirby, like those guys are defensive guys. So Kirby last night went on the tirade of, yeah, we don't do checks here without physicality. It goes hand in hand. So you're not just
yeah,
getting the money and getting to check out and run around and score touchdowns. That's not how like you're getting screamed at here. Hitting people. We're hitting people hard. But that's who he is. And
yeah.
I think it's hard. Like Lane and Sark, it's not really their thing. They want to score points. They want to go fast. They want to make
Yes.
but that's who they are. I don't even blame them. The one thing, Sark really has their defense is actually pretty good, but he should recruit the cream of the crop. Like he can run what Kirby has done at Georgia, what Pete and Urban have done and Saban have done. Like he gets the pick of the litter at Texas because they got the most money and people want to play there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sark's good. Again, they can't beat Georgia, and I think there's a reason for it. What's interesting is
Arch let them
Oklahoma.
down at moments this year. He's gotten better, and it's taken him a
Yes.
little while. And last night, guys dropped balls early, but then as the game went on, he started missing some guys, and their margin for error is just smaller.
I will say this though. Right now, Oklahoma has a better identity than Texas does.
100%.
And I think that's what I've said about USC. It's funny, I've been banging on USC's culture, and last night when Lincoln won, he went out and said that was a culture win. That was a culture win because he hears all the criticisms that we know you're smart and a good offensive coach. We know you're a great play caller. Everybody knows that with Lincoln. I mean, they've been number one or two. They're number one in offense or number two in offense this year. That's even when they lose in shootouts. Except the Notre Dame games have been tough for them. But he came out and said,
21-10 in the rain at half. It did not feel good.
no, it was that. By the way, I not only had a good blazing five, my only college pick was Iowa. I thought it was just going to be a close, ugly game. But they won, and now I don't think USC matches up well with Oregon. Although I'll tell you, I think USC thinks they match up well. My problem is you can beat USC down the field throwing the ball. And if Oregon's healthier at wide receiver, they'll beat USC down the field. Oregon's a big play offense. USC gives up big plays. They can be very good in the red zone. They've got excellent safeties when Bishop and Kamari Ramsey are healthy. Actually, USC safeties are pros. Kamari Ramsey's probably a second-round guy. The other guy's probably a fifth-round guy. But if Wayman Jordan comes back, the running back for USC, I think they'll move the ball a little bit. It'll be competitive, but I think Oregon doesn't give up a ton of big plays under Dan Lanning, and USC does, and that's the difference. If it was at LA, I think I would think it was 33-30. You think USC has a shot?
I mean, it was hard. I mean, I watched some of that game on Friday night when they were playing Minnesota, and their backup tight end was just I mean, Oregon's got some players. I mean,
Dude, their defensive line has got
they
two first-round linemen.
they got two tight ends that just look like they would catch 7 balls on Sunday immediately. I mean, it's just like, where are they getting it? Now, they've been recruiting at a really high level for a long time. I do think it's a tough match. I also think, the buzz on Lincoln over the last like 2 weeks had been like the program had finally kind of turned the corner. They've been winning some games. Like, is this guy going to leave? Something weird's going on. Like there was, and there's a lot of smoke out there with a lot of these college coaches. I've heard rumors about Kalen DeBoer. Just,
Yeah.
it's not a great fit. I'm like, where'd he go? They're like, I don't know, Penn State. It's just a weird fit for him. And I just think fit matters. But I think Lincoln, I think you tweeted this out. It's twice now in basically 3 weeks. The Nebraska game, when they missed the field goal, he went nuts. And last night when they won, he
Crazy.
went. I've never seen him do that. So twice this year, I think he feels the weight of the world. How could you not? Younger guy, you take $120 million. First couple years was just weird. This year, I mean, I don't think they're that talented. So if they end up going 9-3, I actually think he's done a pretty good job. But it
Yeah.
does feel big picture like they're still watching some of these top teams, like still pretty far away from, like there is a chance that they get, I don't know, blown out by 25 points this weekend, right? Get
I
killed.
I I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Oregon. I think they'll score, but I think it could get lopsided pretty fast.